Hey, what's up guys, Darkbreaker here, and in today's video with the new patch notes for 5.1a that is coming out tonight. And as you guys can see, Viego is coming out, so we are in for a little bit of pain pretty soon. So, what with patch notes 5.1a? Long have we waited, our favorite rune monarch is finally here on the rift soon. And with him a first for wildrift, final stand, our newest PvE mode. If that wasn't enough, we've got new events, skins and companions. Last but not least, your regularly scheduled balance updates are here as well. Welcome to patch 5.1a. And I hope you guys will enjoy this video. We're gonna run through all the changes and I'm gonna give you guys my input about what I think about the changes and how they're most likely gonna affect the meta. So, new champions. Viego the Rune King. Once ruler of a long lost kingdom, Viego perished over 1,000 years ago when his attempt to bring his wife back from the dead triggered the magical catastrophe known as the Runation. Transformed into a powerful, unliving wraith, tortured by an obsessive longing for centuries, dead Queen Viego now stands as the Rune King, controlling the deadly harrowings as he scours rune terror for anything that might one day restore her, and destroying all in his path as the black mist pours endlessly from his cruel broken heart. Coming out 8th May. New features, final stand, our first PvE mode is here. Play as Callista as she fights off ways of the Iron Order. Will you be the last one standing? Of course, we also have missions to complete and goodies to claim. Final stand will be available in 1 week. Now for the events, we have Ink Splendor, play games, complete missions and earn goodies such as skin vouchers, Rift Emblem and Kill Bobble. Legacy of the East. Looking for the opportunity to finally get your hands on Jade Dragon Wukong Special Edition or Dragon Fist Lee Special Edition. Now's your chance! Not feeling those two, we also have the Calligraphia pool available for draws. The first 5 roll will have a guaranteed premium reward. 4 drop rates heard to our player support page. Her head, dude, I swear. My excuse will be I'm sick, guys. I can always say I'm sick. I'm sick and that's why I'm allowed to do mistakes. Here, bam. Spender Splendorous Gifts. During the event period, when you reload on Wild Curse, reaching milestone amounts will earn you rewards such as skin vouchers, calligraphia keys, and more. They're pronouncing this shit. Viego's arrival. Join us in welcoming Viego's arrival with his new event. Complete missions and earn rewards. So for the champion changes, the first change is for Ashe. The recent item changes have worked well in Ashe's favor. This adjustment will make sure she's still in line with other marksmen. These guys are talking like Ashe got broken. No. Attack speed increased. They lowered the attack speed increased. And they also lowered the damage of the arrow barrage by 5% at each rank. Honestly, I don't see how Ashe is too broken. I guess Terminus Ashe was too good. Terminus Ashe was too good, guys. She had to get nerfed. I didn't even notice that Ashe got good, or I don't see her being played more. Like, no one plays this champion. Maybe she's too broken in silver. I don't know. Let's move on to Echo. For someone who's able to manipulate time, you would think Echo would be able to clear jungle camps faster. We're speeding it up for him to give him more time to spend helping out his lanes. Damage to monsters get increased, jungle clears get increased, nice. Time window, damage is getting increased by 15 in the early game. Or for every rank actually, that's a lot. And returning damage is also getting increased by 15. Ability power stays the same though. And then health regen on Chrono Break is getting increased from 100 to 50 and then to 250. So more healing. I think that's the best change, that they increase the damage. So Echo's jungle clear might be much better. Okay, it's 15% only. But it's definitely going to make him better in the jungle than beforehand. Also, the base damage on the first ability getting increased is very lovely. It's gonna make Echo laning in the middle. Echo in the mid lane also better. Kindred, delivering death no matter what stage of the game. Kindred has been tumbling through the enemies like it's nothing. We're tweaking the numbers to keep them consistent. With our fellow junglers, base attack damage reduced by 4, attack damage per level reduced by 1. This is like whenever Riot is nerfing the base damage and the damage per level, this is a massive nerf. Then Dance of the Arrows, attack speed increase getting reduced from 35 to 20, massive nerf, and 5% per mark also getting nerfed by 2%, massive nerf on the first ability and onto the base stats. And then the healing on the ultimate, ally healing is getting lowered by 15 the early game, 75 later on, and late game 100, and the self healing is getting lowered from base 100 and up to 150 in the late game to consistently only 50. So killing Kindred out of her ultimate is going to be much, much, much easier, and she's not going to be as slippery as before. So massive, massive nerf, and if you guys are not aware why, I'm going to show you why she is right now a must ban, kinda. Jungle, this is from 18 last week. 56% win rate in Diamond and above. Master and above, or it's Jace actually. I mean, to be fair, Master, there are not that many Master players yet. Appearance rate 1% only, and ban rate, dude, I need to play Jace. Jace seems to be a hot pick. Chinese hot pick. I see, as you can see, it's new season, so Diamond and above is probably the most accurate because Master must be a very, very small player pool, or yeah, data pool in comparison to Diamond and Plus. So you guys, as you guys can see, Kindred, Talon, are the outliners right now. 56 is way too much, and here, I mean 52. It's not an outliner, to be fair. It's not too much. Like anything above 55 is like, wow, something went wrong. Okay, let's move on to Lilia. Lilia is finally receiving some buffs. Lilia is a champion that excels at flexibility and mobility. However, her recent performances has been underwhelming. We're tweaking her numbers to make sure she can stand her ground, especially in early skirmishes. Blooming Blows movement speed is getting increased by 1.5 in the early game. No, 1.5 at every rank. Ability power ratio stays the same. Damage is getting increased by, it's getting increased at every rank a little bit. 5, then 10, then 15, and then 20. Plus the ability power ratios get increased by 10%. This is a massive buff, by the way. And the true damage also gets increased by 5. I mean, the same as the other one. And then ability power ratio get increased. Massive buff onto the first ability, her main damage tool. Watch out, Eve is getting increased by 10 at every rank. And center damage is getting increased by 20 at every rank. The ability power stays the same. So, massive buff onto the first ability for Lilia. It's definitely going to make her better. I mean, she's a champion that is very scaling, so her early game is slightly better, and her late game is going to be much better than beforehand. Now for Nunu, our best friend duo has been strong enough to hold their own against the enemies. We're making sure they can tank through whatever might come their way in their adventures. Call of the Frylord, I guess that's a passive attack speed, is getting increased by 10%, and movement speed is getting increased by 5%. For the first ability, they are increasing the base damage, not. They're not increasing the base damage. Ability power stays the same. Healing is getting increased by 2%. Honestly, these changes, the first ability is kind of irrelevant. I mean, I guess the healing can be good in, it's a bonus health. I mean, it is kind of fine, but at the same time, not really noticeable. I mean, it's buff for tank Nunu. The more HP you have, the more healing you will get. This is, I guess, kind of nice for the jungle clear speed, a little bit. But nothing, I mean, it will not change Nunu at all, in my opinion. Stays absolutely the same. Olaf, how can we expect Olaf to rush through enemy formation when he can't survive the initial onslaught of damage? Yeah, that's true. These changes will make sure he's less a glass cannon and more a tough as steel warrior. Berserker Rage. Maximum attack speed is getting increased to up from in total increasing the base and the maximum, the minimum and the maximum to 10% or by 10%, and the life steal is also increased by 5%, minimum and maximum. Now for vicious strikes, the second ability, the shielding. Okay, the lower HP you are, the more shielding you're getting now, because they increase it from 30% missing HP to 15%. Nice to have, but those 2% are kinda irrelevant in my opinion. Now for Ragnarok, they're increasing the resistance by a lot, by 15 in the early game and 15 across every rank. So 50 more resistance while 50 more resistance while using the ultimate, I think. It's pretty lovely. This is pretty damn good. This is really good. So this is nice. This is nice. I guess nice to have, but the biggest change is probably Ragnarok, and then afterwards the passive. Ragnarok getting that resistance so you can, like they said, run through the opponents. Super important. It's gonna make Olaf much better. Is he gonna be S+ tier? I don't think so. Is he gonna be a strong S tier, especially against some tanky compositions or against champions like Lux, Viego, Senna, etc.? Yes, sir. Yes. Olaf can be a very good pick into certain compositions, for sure. But I already explained to you guys, if they have too much mobility, if you can't reach them, if you get kited and they have too much damage, then Olaf does not work against those type of team comps. So pick or choose when... you pick Olaf wisely and then choose the battle wisely as well. Bam. Now, next one, Samira. After the last patch, Samira has stepped up against enemies considerably. We're tweaking her numbers slightly to make sure she doesn't snowball out of control if she is to gain an early advantage. The base attack damage is getting lowered by 2. There's a decent nerf already. Then, the base damage of the first ability is getting lowered by 5 at every rank. And then the attack damage ratio is also getting nerfed by 5 at every rank. Decent nerf onto the first ability. Inferno Trigger. They're lowering the base damage by 5 and the attack damage ratio by 10. Seems like a solid nerf, but not an overkill nerf, if you understand me. Now for Twitch. Twitch is quite strong in the mid to late game, which can lead to him snowballing out of control, making him difficult to counter. We're tweaking his numbers slightly so his opponents have more ways to fight back when Twitch gets ahead. Armor per level is getting decreased by 0.5. Magic resistance per level is also getting increased by 0.5. Making Twitch even more squishy in the late game. And then Contaminate, I think that's the third ability. The base damage is getting lowered by 5. Damage per stack is getting lowered by 5. Attack damage ratio is getting lowered by 3%. And ability ratio is getting lowered by 2%. So a pretty big nerf onto Twitch main damage, the third ability. And now for his ultimate. Subsequent target damage reduction is getting increased to 15% instead of 10%. And damage reduction limit... Oh wait, am I understanding correctly? Subsequent targets damage reduction. Yeah. So, champions behind the first initial target take less damage beforehand. Damage reduction limit from 60% to 40%. But this sounds like... Yeah, but this is like if you're sitting a lot of champions, they take more damage than beforehand. So it's an adjustment, kinda. Like this part is a nerf, this part is a buff, and all of this is a nerf, to be fair. So I feel like Twitch was not in a position where he was too strong, but I take it. I hate this champion, I take it. Yasuo's blade has felt more like a gentle breeze these days. These changes will hopefully remind his enemies of the true power of his sword. You know why they're doing this? I don't think Yasuo's doing that bad. Yasuo's doing very good in my opinion, but they're buffing him because the new Yasuo skin is coming out. And yeah, right, of course. Base HP regen is getting increased by 3. Now they're increasing the base damage of the first ability by 5. Okay, doesn't really matter that much. And for the ultimate, they're increasing the attack damage ratio by 10%. Yeah, his early game is going to be better because of the regen. He has more base damage, and then the ultimate has more late game damage. So, I guess nicer for Yasuo mains, but he didn't need a buff. Base HP regen, this is also gonna buff tank Yasuo, because Grasp, Second Wind, and HP regen, you can't push him out of the lane. If he's running Tabai or magic resistance boots in the early game, and then he has Grasp, how do you want to force him out of the lane anymore? Now for Zoe, like this seems very unnecessary, and this might make tank Yasuo even better, like even way better. Now let's move on to Zoe. Zoe has been overwhelming her opponents, especially in the early game. We're adjusting her numbers to give her enemies a chance to catch their breath. For the first ability, they're lowering the base damage, and the highest possible damage is also getting lower by a lot actually. Wow! Like 387 to 337, 50! They're nerfing the late game output by 50! Damn! And besides that, the ratios stay the same. Massive late game nerf, and even early game nerf. Sleepy Trouble Bubble, base damage is getting reduced by 10 at every, no, okay, never mind, 10 in the early game for both, and then in the late game by 25. And then for the cooldown, they're increasing it in the early game from 10 to 12. Late game stays the same. I mean, I think there's a pretty big nerf on Zoe again. I mean, I have some games where Zoe's disgusting, but she is not that popular in my opinion. Wait, let's check here. Maybe she's really popular. Oh, damn. Okay, she has the highest win rate in Diamond Plus right now. But it's 54. The nerfs seem pretty big, to be fair. I mean, it's... okay. Pooey. But this is Master Plus. I never come. Master Plus is too small right now. Diamond Plus is more accurate. But 54, I guess it's pretty high. Pyke is also popping. Teemo. You know why these champions are so high right here? Because they are piss easy to play, and their teamfight value or their late game value is really good. That's why. Pyke is surprising, to be fair. Okay. And if you guys are wondering, this is the website lolm.qq.com. Now Aram changes, we don't care. Force of Nature. We're boosting the cost efficiency of Force of Nature so it can become a more desirable pickup when you're against an AP heavy team. The gold is getting lowered by 100, the magic resistance is getting increased by 5, taking ability damage from enemy champions grants 1 stack of steadfast, maximum 6 to 4. At maximum stacks, gain 10% movement speed and reduce all incoming damage by 25%. Oh, Force of Nature is so good against magic champions or magic damage champions right now. Really good. Because it costs less, you get more resistance, and you can get the passive way easier. 25% damage reduction at 4 stacks. In combination with Twin Guard, you are unkillable. Blade of the Rune King. The rune part, like reducing the HP, is getting... I would say it's a buff for us, because they're reducing our HP less right now. So Blade of the Rune King received a buff. Lowering the HP less. Same for Infinity Edge. Self-Destruction. Lowering the base HP only by 5 in the early game, up to 80%. Critical strike damage the damage is getting reduced by 5%. So I think it's fine. This seems like a buff. This also seems like a buff. A kind of adjustment, to be fair. For Death Cap, same thing about the HP. Same adjustments. And late game 5% less damage. Okay. For Thornmail, 100 more gold. When struck by an enemy champion, basic attack deal 20 plus 6% plus 1% to 2% bonus HP. Bonus HP as magic damage. So the more HP you have, the more damage rate. Yeah, the more HP you have, the more bonus damage you will do right now. So that's a lovely buff, I guess, for like tanks. Terminus. We're introducing an upper limit for the amount of armor and magic penetration gained with Terminus. Juxtaposition. The upper limit of armor and magic penetration rate is 40% when equipped with Terminus. I wonder why though. I guess because Terminus, like, you can't stack up Mortuary Miner with Terminus. So I wonder why they did this. Oh, it's for magic champions like Kale. Because Kale can stack up the magic penetration from the AP items and then get Terminus. That's why. It's not for the AD champions necessary. Because you can't stack up percentage armor penetration anyways. Oh, it does matter for maybe who else's armor percentage. I think Darius has. But Darius doesn't really get Terminus. Yeah, it's mainly for AP champions that are running Terminus, I guess. Because these champions would exceed the 40% normally. Otherwise, I don't get it. Because you usually have percentage. First, the Terminus percentage is getting reduced. And then the flat pen is getting reduced afterwards in the calculation. So I don't think how else you would get more than 40%. Light Humus Ghostblade, they are nerfing the armor you get. Wait, armor penetration you're getting. Because yeah, Light Humus Ghostblade was too strong. From 5 to 10 to 3 to 6. Rune Changers. So for first strike, they are nerfing the damage from 9% to 7% bonus to damage. It does make sense because first strike is like the most popular keystone right now. Or like one of the most popular keystones for junglers, for mid laners. And for empowerment. Since Kraken Slayer has been removed, sustained damage from Marksman has taken a hit. We're buffing Empowered Attack to empower Marksman to continue their skirmishes. When the target is vulnerable, your basic attack deal bonus from 6 to 20 to 8 to 24 true damage. When the target exits the vulnerable state, vulnerability enters a 4 seconds cooldown only. Wow, that's a big buff for empowerment actually. Gameplay, Ixtal Scorpion. Players won't be able to summon Ixtal Scorpion when they have taken damage within the last 2 seconds. For the new skins, they brought out the whole package. Cottontail Vex, Calligraphia Yasuo, Jarvan, Tryndamere, Janna, Saya. Then we have Prestige, Select, Calligraphia Yasuo. Wow, this skin looks dope. Didn't they release a Prestige Yasuo skin already recently? It feels like. They are scamming. Scammers trying to scam more. Dragon Fist Lee Sin Special Edition. And then also Jade Dragon Wukong Special Edition. Supreme Cells Akali looking dope. Then Arcade Viego. I think this is wildrift only. A wildrift exclusive skin. Doesn't exist on PC. Arcade Caitlyn and Arcade Hecarim. But yeah, that's great for the patch notes. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And write down below in the comments what you guys think about the changes. I see you. Bye bye.